Welcome back to the long and short of it with Genesis CEO Jim Long. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Jim. How are you today?
Pretty good. Your reference was the pork market grind continues. What are you seeing in the field to date?
Well, the grim reality of where we're at is farrow to finish producers are losing about $30 a head, and we've had continual losses for other maybe a couple months this summer since last September. It's been deep and long, and it hasn't stopped yet. And unfortunately, when we look out at the futures, there's no relief before April, May. So we got a few more months of losses, and what we're in is a war of attrition. It's about survivors. This week we heard about a number of farms being, I don't know what the right word is, shut down by banks, sow units. I got a number of 21 sow units that were going to be shut down. I don't know if it's true. I heard about sow people being asked if they could handle 60,000 sows in a buy, which means a bank was looking and taking down 60,000 sows. I don't know what's going to happen. The losses have been ongoing. All you have to do is look at the public corporations and look at what their financial statements are showing. It's just, and they've had mega losses, and it's a reflection of what everybody's in. High feed prices relative to the pig price has just been devastating to the industry. We believe the sow herd is getting smaller and continually get smaller. We don't agree with the USDA saying that there's going to be more pork in 2024 than 2023. To me, it's ludicrous to think that with what is going on in the marketplaces. All you got to do is look at the history of losses. When you've had losses in the hog industry, you have liquidation and the pig price jumps up. Unless we're going to defy history, it's going to be the same thing again. The billion-dollar question, and I say billion-dollar question because we probably lost $4 billion in the last 12 months in the swine industry in the United States, is when. And I'm not smart enough to know when, other than I believe liquidation started in earnest somewhat in May, June. So we should see less pigs, give or take February.
So one of the things about driving demand kind of goes back to taste. I know there's different theories out there that a lot of producers, to feed the pig and expenses to get that taste out there, but you still vehemently believe that if there's a product in demand, people will pay premium for that product?
Absolutely. We're seeing it today with pork, with Genesus pork that's going into retail. We're seeing $2 a pound on average higher than other pork in the same stores, same store, same day. And that's real money. And if you go into those stores and you talk to the butchers, and let's say they don't know who we are, why should I pay more money for that pork? And the answer is really simple: taste. It isn't about Prop 12, it isn't about humanely raised, it isn't about antibiotic free, it's about taste. And if you look at any of the surveys that's been done by the National Pork Board or by anybody else, the main driver for consumers is taste and flavor. And at some point we got to stop thinking like producers and think like marketers. Marketers go to what the market wants, not what they think it needs to be. Okay. And we need to produce pork that tastes better. Taste shouldn't be a niche product. Taste needs to be what we do, deliver to own our shelf space, own our demand. People, like I don't know how many times I heard producers say, why don't we have pork on menus? Why do we not see it? Well, you know why? The restaurants will have it on if the consumers want to eat it. They don't order it because the taste and flavor isn't predictable and people don't trust it. That's my opinion. Okay. Restaurants will put it on if they can make money, meaning people want to buy it. It's not complicated. But we have to deliver product that people want to eat.
So do we have to change the way people are thinking about this, son?
I don't think so. The consumers already know what they want. The people we need to change is our infrastructure, our industry that keeps doing the same thing over and over again and wonder why pork is a third of the price of beef. Consumers are spending 3 times as much more money on beef per pound than pork. Why? Taste, flavor. If we want to change our future, we have to address what the consumers want, taste and flavor. It's, in my mind, it's not really complicated. We forget what matters, or we don't pay attention to what matters. We're chasing our tail on things that aren't going to drive demand.
What about Brett Stuart? He has an opinion and a perspective on the domestic and international agri-food industry, Jim.
Yeah, Brett Stuart, president of Global Agro Trends, is my observation be he's got a good perspective. He knows what's going on in the world. He was in an interview, which I quoted in my commentary, about the world protein production, how it's decreasing in China, poultry, pork, beef decreasing in Australia, beef decreasing in the United States, the liquidation that's already happened in Europe. His perspective is that we've never had so much liquidation all at one time in different meat proteins, beef, chicken, pork, at the same time. And Genesis, we do business around the world, so we're paying attention. I totally agree with what he's saying. We're decreasing total global meat production. And when, at some point, use the cliche, the dog will hit the end of the chain, and we're going to see some really interesting prices in all meat categories, because people will pay for meat, in my opinion. Okay, but it shows. I mean, it's what history shows too.
Well, good perspectives today, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Jim.